Okay, hey everybody, Tekking here. I was at a water park earlier today, so my hair is a little frizzled. But anyway, I just finished editing the game show panel I did at Tekko. You're going to see it here in a moment. I just wanted to throw a little introduction here at the beginning. So this is the fourth panel I've done, but this is the first panel I've ever tried that actually has like a theme to it. All the other ones were just me like hanging out with my fans and the crowd and just answering questions about YouTube and One Piece, and that was pretty much it. First panel I ever did was back in 21, and that actually had Rustage in it. That was great because he was at Tekko at the same time, and so we just did a panel and we just answered a bunch of questions from the crowd. That was a lot of fun. And then I did one in 22 and then last year in 2023, and it was, yeah, just me talking to the crowd. So this year I wanted to try something different. I wanted to be a little bit more ambitious with this one. I wanted to do a game show, right? And I'd never done this before, so I knew that things were gonna get, like, nothing was gonna be perfect, and so I had to kind of accept that and just like, all right, probably gonna mess some stuff up, but we're just gonna have to try. And I want to say overall, everything went pretty good. All right, like despite like the fact I'd never done this before, and there was way more people than I expected to come to this, everything actually worked out great. The crowd was fantastic. Thanks to everybody that came out. My friends Patrick and Carla and Kevin that helped me with everything. Thank you so much, because originally I was like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to do all this by myself. I asked my friend Patrick. He took a day off and he came down to Pittsburgh with me, and it was originally just gonna be the two of us. And my God, if it was we might have been able to do it, but I think it would have been very, very overwhelming if it was just the two of us. My friends Carlin and Kevin were also at the convention, and like I was like, hey, could you help me with this? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are like saviors, seriously, because it was a four-person job, to be sure. Okay, so the format of the trivia was like bar trivia format. I actually don't want to show you this form because this is a form somebody actually already filled out, and I don't know if you guys want to follow along with the questions. You don't want to see the answers or anything like that, so we'll see how my YouTube audience does with the trivia. But yeah, I had this nice little form printed out. Artist Taplow made it, and I'll put links to his Twitter and everything below. Fantastic artist. He's used done stuff before on the channel, like thumbnail art and things before. So got a nice form, and I was like, okay, they need something to write on, so I'm gonna get some clipboards, and I'm gonna bring pencils and, you know, candy to hand out to everybody. It's gonna be a great time. The first major problem is I underestimated how many people were gonna come to this, because I'm like going off of like other panels that I've done, and I was like, okay, and not everybody that comes into the panel is going to play the trivia, so I was just ballparking it, and I was like, and then, you know, some people are gonna be groups too, and I'm thinking, okay, how about 50 forms, 50 clipboards, have enough pencils, maybe a little extra just as like a buffer, but like 50, let's try that out, okay? It was more than 50, which is a good thing, because that was cool that so many people came to my panel. But yeah, after we're handing everything out, my friend Carla looks at me and just like, hey Matt, we're running out of clipboards. I'm like, oh, that's okay, next year I'll have to bring more, because that was that. And in fact, this was another one where it was a couple of days before the panel, like 2 days before I went to to Pittsburgh. I was like, okay, what if there's a lot more people than I originally assumed? I had this thought, but I had it like last minute, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to order more clipboards, but I should make more forms. That's something I can do, just in case that there's way more people than I expected to this. I'll have the forms that they can actually use to play the game, okay? And so I went to Staples and I printed out an additional 50. Great, so we had 100. I left half of them in my car, though, so that was another thing that I was like, dang it, I had the jacket, I had my camera, I had help, and, like, the prizes and everything, and just, there's always gonna be one thing that you forget. There's always gonna be the one thing that's like, wait, I have extra ones. They're not in my backpack, they're out in my car, which is in the parking garage. So thanks to my friend Kevin, I like give him my keys, and like I just like, here you go, just that's my car, just go down and get it. I didn't tell him where in the car they were, but he found them and he came back, and I'm just like, oh my God, Kevin, you're a savior. So like, thankfully, a lot of these problems, because the panel wasn't supposed to officially start until 8 o'clock, we got in there at like 7:30 and we started to set up, and that was when we started to encounter a lot of these issues. And it was like, okay, so we got like 10 minutes until the panel officially starts. We ran over by like, we started like 5 minutes late. So that overall The timeline of this went great. Despite all of the little hiccups that happened here and there, we were in and we were out of the panel perfectly on time. And that still allowed like 15 minutes at the end for fans to come up and like for me to sign some stuff and take pictures with everybody. It was like we were perfectly on time the entire time through. It wasn't we were too early or like running late or anything. So that worked swimmingly, right? So like for the first like, 10, 15 minutes, I kind of just like answered questions from the crowd. You'll see that here. I talk about like the basic rules of the trivia, and it's like a bar trivia format, and some people from the crowd ask me like questions that are going to be on there or not going to be on there, and so I just kind of fill time there a little bit, and then Kevin comes back he holds up the forms, and everyone's like, ah! Just like great. So we pass out the forms. I think overall, considering I had 100 forms, I think there was maybe 105-ish people that played the game. So about like 5 people or so, we had to hand out like just notebook paper, which I didn't want to do that, but it was very, very close to the number, okay? So it was like right around 100, just a little bit more than that. So next year when I do this, I know at least I have a number to work with, okay? So we did that. We got into the questions. I was like, this was kind of hard for me to come up with questions because I'm like, all right, I've been talking about One Piece for like 8 years, and I've been on a lot of like Jeopardy game shows involving One Piece where there's really, really hard questions. Like I was on a Jeopardy with like O'Hara once, and then another with Artur, and Artur is a genius with One Piece. So I'm trying to pick questions that don't seem too easy. I threw some questions at my friend Patrick the night before, like what they were. And he was like, yeah, maybe make these questions a little bit easier. So I did change a few of them with the Straw Hats. So the Straw Hats were the first group. They were like the easy questions. And then the second phase was like the groups in One Piece. There were 5 questions there. And the last part were questions that I thought were decently hard. But I think to maybe a casual One Piece fan, they were very, very hard. And it was like, okay, so now I understand that, yes, next time to do this, maybe dial down the question difficulty just a little bit, considering most people don't make videos about One Piece every single day. And we were also giving out prizes. So as we were leaving, as I was packing things up, my friends even told me, like, it's probably like you don't want to have like 10 people tying for first place because you are giving out prizes. And I'm like, yeah, that is a pretty good point. So the winners, the highest score out of 51 points, because there were 50 questions and then there was 1 bonus point. So out of 51 points, the highest score was 44. So congratulations to, I know his real name, but I don't want to say his real name. So he was cosplaying as Light Yagami, though. And he had his girlfriend or maybe wife with him who was cosplaying as Misa. And he had his friend with him as well. And they were a really great group. And they knew a lot about One Piece. And it was just like, oh, cool. All right. So those were the winners. Congratulations to you. And yeah, we went through all the prizes on the table and it was a lot of fun. So here is the panel. Just follow along with the questions and answer them, I guess, in the comments or whatever, like what points you got. You can follow along there. The first section is 1 point each. Second section was 2 points each. And then the last section was 3 points each. And then there was a bonus question that was worth 1 point. So, yeah, anyway, that's what I just wanted to say at the beginning. This was a lot of fun, and I'm going to do it again next year. I plan on doing it next year and making some adjustments. But for the first time out, I think this was a success. All right, so that was that. Thanks again for coming to the panel and supporting me and my content and everything. And yeah, here it is. My game show debut. Thank you, everybody, for the turnout. My name is Tekking101. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about One Piece, so I feel like I know a little bit about it. And thank you. The other 2 jobs I've always wanted to have in my life aside from YouTuber are game show host or late night talk show host. So I got 2 of them out of the way now, so I don't know, late night show host at some point. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of bar trivia this past year, and I really like the format, so we're gonna do this in One Piece theme. Thanks to all my friend Carla, my friend Pimmer over here, my friend Kevin is going to get the forms. And that guy that helped hook up the TV, that guy also, awesome. Okay. All right, so, yeah. All right,
So to kick us off here, there's going to be 3 rounds of questions on the sheets. 50 points total available, plus 1 bonus question. Questions will cover up until the end of the Wano arc. There's nothing involving beyond that with Egghead in the manga. I'm sorry if you haven't got up to that point, if it's a spoiler situation. Basic rules of bar trivia: put away your cell phones, don't look up the answers on the Wikipedia, no cheating off of others. This is basic stuff. We're on the honor system, right? You're all good. Don't shout out answers. I was at a bar trivia once where there was a dude that just kept shouting out every single answer, and it kind of ruined it for everybody in the hall, especially since half of them were wrong. But so I don't know, that might have been tactics. He might have been doing tactics with that one. But yeah, so just other than that, basic honor system stuff. So the way it normally goes with bar trivia, after every round, you would all turn your questions into me, and I would grade them and hand them back to you. We don't have the time to do that here, so I have no way to check. So I'm just hoping that everybody keeps track of their numbers correctly. And then the way that it's going to work is at the end, we're going to do whoever has the most points gets first dibs at our lovely prize table over here. And then we'll go down to like who has the next highest and third after that, and then until the prize table is empty. So we have some prizes today. Next up, if you cheat, Tony Shopper from movie 3 will haunt you for the rest of your days. Movie 3 Chopper is nightmare fuel. I don't recommend it. Alright, we're gonna get into round 1 here. I'm gonna wait until Kevin gets back with the rest of the forms. I was debating a lot on exactly how many people were gonna show up to this, so I had 100 forms, and I did that last minute. I printed out an extra 50, because I'm like, just in case. But I didn't have enough time to order more clipboards. So now I got a good baseline, yes. Question.
Are we including the movies?
No movies. No movies and stuff. But there is some SBS related questions from outside of that. There's only a couple. See, look, I've been talking about One Piece for a long time, so questions that I thought were easy turns out to be kind of difficult.
I was a test subject.
He was the guinea pig last night.
Yes, I have finished watching everything and reading everything, but I'm not as analytical as Tekko here.
Yeah. Carla, where are you at on One Piece? You know what? That's a good place to be. What is that, Syrup Village? Syrup Village is a good arc. Here at Usopp, you know? Usopp, I hope he gets some cool stuff coming up, because really, yeah. I feel like I have. There's one question I put in here that was rather vindictive, because I was on a Jeopardy One Piece once, and they asked me this question, and I got it wrong, and so I put it on here, so I'm just like, all right. See how you guys go. Yes, you.
What happens if first place ends up in a tie?
Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna give a random geography question about One Piece, and whoever gets that right. All else fails, we'll go to just rock, paper, scissors, because that's the ultimate tiebreaker in every single part of the world. Yeah. Huh? Geography is everything, absolutely. So I hope you studied up on your random islands of where Jerry's from in the One Piece world. Yeah. Yes. No Vivre card stuff in this one. I do not believe so. No. The most intensive it'll get is there's some questions about like there's a question about a character's birthday. So everybody always asks the birthday questions. Although I think it's the easiest one out of all of them. Yes. I don't think there's any filler stuff in there. Certainly nothing with Foxy. I didn't include him on here for a good reason. Yeah. Kevin's on his way back. Okay. We'll hang out here for a bit, and then we'll get some more. Yes. I forgot him. So Barry is my little sidekick, but he's also officially classified as a weapon because he is a 5-pound brick. So I'm very careful whenever I bring him anywhere. He's coming. Okay. Yes. And I didn't even tell him in the car where they were. I just realized this. Thank you so much for having the ability to look for things. I got 40 more of them. I'm sorry if that's all I got after this. I do have some notebook paper, though, that could work. Okay, so anybody that needs an extra form, we got 40. Let's begin with straw hat questions. All right, 10 questions, 10 straw hats, question for each. I'm going to start off with an easy one. What is Luffy's favorite food? Feel free to add as many exclamation points at the end of this. I'm not going to give you extra points, but, you know, it's kind of how he would say it. So, yeah. Nice to start off with. I feel like this is the question Luffy would probably ask, you know, if you asked him to come up with a trivia question for himself.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, question 2, a Zoro question. What is the name of Zoro's new sword? The one he gets in Wano. This is the one. It also is his sword that has the shortest name. I'll give you a hint. There's 4 letters. And it looks really cool. And it used to be, originally people thought it was actually in a black scabbard. Turns out it was purple. And I think I like it more in purple. Purple's cool. All right. Next question. On Nami. Name one of Nami's favorite things in life. There's a couple of different answers to this one. But there's 3 in particular. Also, I should mention at this point that there's different translations, so there's English and the Japanese. It depends on which version you do. It's perfectly fine. And I'm not going to do anything spelling related for obvious reasons, so yeah. Okay, after Nami, we have Usopp, the sniper. What is the name of Usopp's seed weapons? He uses these after the time skip, after training on the Boeing Islands with Heracles, and he gives them these little seeds, they pop out into things, and they do really cool stuff. Next question. Most of Sanji's attacks, not all of them, but most of them are in this language, in our world. Sanji's a very suave kind of guy, so he has things in this particular fancy language. There are times when Sanji is not suave, but he tries. He tries. Next up. Suave and cringe kind of flips back and forth.
Oh, you're not playing?
This is the SBS one. What is Tony Chopter's birthday? Yeah. I'll give you a hint. He's from a winter island, and he has a reindeer nose. He does, actually. So, actually, Buggy and Chopper share a birthday. They do not. But it'd be cool if they did for that reason. All right. Next up. What is the name of Nico Robin's devil fruit? You can do the English version, like for Luffy. Well, okay, Luffy's not a great example. Okay, so for, like, Brook's fruit is the revive fruit, or the yomi nomi. You could do either version for Robin's fruit. All right. Yeah. I'll give it a second for that one. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, so since Frankie is the shipwright, I thought it would only be appropriate to have a question relating to Frankie and the Thousand Sunny, because they're both members of the crew. What material did Frankie build the Thousand Sunny out of? It's a very particular kind of wood that he used to build it. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, someone was going to bring that up. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mary. Mary's dead. Mary's dead and buried. I just want to appreciate that Oda made us care and love a ship. Like, that's a good author right there, okay? Oh my goodness. All right, next up, we got a Brook question. What object is in Brook's skull? So Brook has a little hinge on his skull that he can open up, and there's an object in there, and what is that object? It's very important to his, actually to his flashback and to his dream, ultimately. All right. And finally, the newest member, Jinbei. What type of fishman is Jinbei? I've heard an appropriate amount of ahs the entire time I've been doing this, so I'm like, all right, not too many, not too many. These are easy to me. To me, they were harder last night.
Yeah, I like put them down a bit.
Yeah, well then also, we'll see how this goes at the final scores, and then next year I might even tone it down even more. All right, God, but those are the easy questions. All right, so Act 1 of Wano concluded. End of round 1. Give everybody, thank you. Does anyone need anything repeated? Good, okay. We'll go over the answers here in real time. All right, answers to round 1. Question 1 was meat. It's Luffy's favorite food. Question 2 was enma. Question 3 could be money, could be tangerines, mekons in Japanese, it could be that as well. And family or nakama, her friends, that's also, I would have accepted that as well. She wouldn't sell out her friends, depending, well, it depends on how much money it is. But yeah, she was willing to do that a couple of times, but I think it was more for comedic effect. Usopp's weapons are pop greens, and Sanji's, most of his attack names are in French. You know what? Yes. Yes, I'll do that as well, yes.
Oranges.
Oranges, yeah, that's the same thing. Tangerines, oranges, anything that vaguely looks like that, I'll accept, yeah. Okay, next answers. Chopper's birthday is Christmas Eve. That's the one that hurt me once. I all feel your pain, and now I've thrown it onto you. I know, I'm sorry. Rudolph doesn't come out on Christmas Day, he comes out on Christmas Eve. Yes. Whale shark specifically, because there's a lot of, Arlong is also a saw shark, so there's a lot of different kinds of shark. It's also Shark Week right now. You know what, yeah. If it's shark whale or whale shark, I'll take that, yeah. Yo, yeah. If you wrote Christmas Eve, that's the same day as December 24th, absolutely. Okay. All right, so we have December 24th, flower, fruit, atom, wood, toned out, whale shark. Those are the easy ones. So here we go. Medium questions. Groups in One Piece. Oh, we're fine. It's 8 points. Okay. And yeah, we can do any questions, clarifying questions at the end of each round, since we have time for this. Okay. Hit it. What is the name of this group from Skypiea?
Angel Commandos, isn't it?
That was his guess last night, yeah. So these were the Skypiea police that were arresting the Straw Hats on all these trumped up charges. They were just like, you're hanging out on this beach and lounging too much. You're class 5 criminals now. You know. You don't skip Skypiea, really. It's as my friend Nux once said, it's a microcosm of all of One Piece. You don't want to be skipping Skypiea. Yeah. All right. The next group. What is the name of this group from Wano? They show up, they're parts of Kaido's crew. They all have, not artificial, they have ancient zones. Drake is part of them. There are 6 of them. And there's 2 names, once again, a Japanese name and an English one, like in the Viz translations. All right. Question 13. What is the name of this group from the Sabaody arc? So there's 2 of them. There's 2 names. They had a name when they originally showed up. Duval was their leader. And then Sanji kicked his face in and turned it into a nice, beautiful face. And they changed their names. I'll accept both. But they're like the biker gang that hangs out around Sabaody. And they are introduced, and Hachi was taken by them, and Kami was kidnapped by them, and they eventually become allies of the Straw Hats. All right, next question. Question 14. What is the name of this group from Thriller Bark? So these 4 people have a very specific name. I'll just say the names of the individual characters. Gecko, Moria, Perona, Absalom, and Hogback. All together, they have a very specific group that they are called. All right, now, this is the hardest one, and I feel bad about this one, so I'll give you some hints on this one coming up. All right. Okay, now. Yes! I am looking for someone worthy! All right, so this is a group from Enies Lobby. They're in the courthouse, and they're kind of like the large, burly thug kind of guys that like attack the Straw Hats. They are, jury is in their name, as in a jury on like a court, So that's part of their name, but that's not all of it. So I'll give you a little hint on that. And then that is thankfully the end of the medium questions. All right. So the answers to this. Okay. Question 11, White Berets. Question 12, the Toby Robo, also the Flying Six, would have also been accepted. Question 13, the Flying Fish Riders or the Rosy Life Riders. Question 14, the Mysterious Four. Question 15, the Just 11 Jurymen. I love that pun. That's why I put it on here, because they're just 11, because a jury has 12, but also they're just. They are not just. They are horrible.
Is this Rosy Riders okay?
Rosy Riders would be fine, yeah.
Would you take just berets for question 11?
You know what? Yes. Yes.
What about this flying fish?
You know what? Yeah. That's fine. Flying Fish Gang, Flying Fish, like even group or something. Flying Fish or Rosy Life is the big one, yeah. Yes.
11. Can we do Sky Beret?
Sky Berets. You know what? If you included Beret, I'll give it to you on that one. Yeah.
What's the English translation for Toby Robo?
Oh, the English translation is the Flying Six. That's it, yeah. Okay. All right, now, the hard question. All right, so, at this point I remind you, do we have any candy? Okay, I gave you candy, that makes it up for it, I guess. All right, oh, this first one's already, okay, I'm mean for this one. Go ahead. How many islands are in Tatoland? All right. There's at least 6 from the page. It's over 30. It's less than 50. All right. Yes. Don't shout out answers. But thank you. No. No. Actually, you know what? No, it's not 32. So there you go. All right. What is the name of the island where Luffy grew up? So to be specific here, I'm not looking for Windmill Village or Fuchsia Village. There's the name of the kingdom, which I'll accept, and then there's the name of the island itself. The island itself has a name. I'll accept either the name of the kingdom or the name of the island. Well, this is really good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the next one is that one. Yeah. All right, next question. What is the name and rank of the Rust fruit user? He shows up in Ennie's lobby, any Zoro fans out there should know this, he destroyed Yubashiri, which was my favorite sword that he used. I made a video about this guy. His name has 3 letters in it. Yeah.
Is this my filler?
Nope, totally legit. Although, interestingly enough, there is a character in Ennie's lobby that uses the wheel fruit. He can turn his body into wheels. He only shows up in the manga, not in the anime. It's the only time that's ever happened where they just never animated a character. Well, they animated him, they just didn't show his devil fruit power for some reason. All right, next one. Question 19. What story arc was Blackbeard first mentioned? He shows up at Jaya, but he's mentioned before that. What arc was it? You said Jaya last night, so I'm just gonna, it's not Jaya. Yeah.
There's only a few arcs.
There's only a few arcs, yeah. It's early Grand Line, you know. It is early Grand Line, so it's not anything in the East Blue. It would be in the early parts of the Grand Line arcs. All right. Question 20. What is the name of the attack Luffy used to defeat Crocodile? This is at the end of their 3rd battle. There's a big attack. I think the 1812 Overture plays in the anime when he like, dun, he just punches him out through the roof and Crocodile gets knocked out. Yeah. Really cool name. He also uses the attack again against Oars in Thriller Bark. When he's Nightmare Luffy, he uses the same attack. It's a really cool move. Next one. What is the name of the weather wizard that trained Nami? Yeah. Deep cuts. Deep cuts. He had a name. That's not even an SBS or a Viver card thing. Nami says it in the manga, and in the anime as well. She says it. Fun fact about him, I think he's the second. Kureha is the oldest human. She's a youthful 141 years old. His name starts with the letter H. He's like 97 or 99. I think he's the second oldest human. All right, next up. I'll help you a little bit with this one. When was the palace at Alubarna built? It's an interval of 1,000. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9,000. 3 left. And then there's a bonus question, which everyone will get that. Everyone will get a bonus question. All right, question 23. What type of toy did Sugar turn Hiruden into during Dressrosa? So Sugar turns all of the people there into toys. Hiruden is turned into a very specific toy. Here's your hint, it's an animal. It's an animal indigenous to Africa. Okay, 2 more left. This one I think, okay, go ahead. Question 24. What is the 5th island the Straw Hats have visited in the Grand Line? I'll give you a second on this one. Okay, Reverse Mountain does not count. First island they arrive at, and then counting up. That's a good clarifying question, though. Yeah, not counting Reverse Mountain.
Does Laboon count?
Laboon does not count. That's Reverse Mountain, yeah. All right. Now, okay. Last question. This is, okay, just go and do it. What is this character's name? It is not Blue Hair OC Nami. So this is the most out of the franchise question I have on here at the very end. This is a character from one of the prototype chapters for One Piece. So Oda did 3 versions of Romance Dawn. The first one had a female lead in it, the second one where she is from, and then the third one turned out to be chapter 1 of One Piece, the Romance Dawn that we've all seen or watched in the anime. So it's a character from that, and it was animated like about 2 or 3 years ago. That's what this is from the OVAs. She has a name. Also, the name is only 3 letters. So there you go. And now, as an apology at the end of this, Jinbei's bonus question at the bottom of the form. What color's the red line? I feel like that would have been Jinbei all along. Like, he'd be the dad that'd be like, all right, here's an easy one. Here you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And that is the end of this. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, and I apologize. Next year, if I do this, it will. I have learned from this experience, thankfully. All right. Okay. All right. I heard some very happy noises here, and I heard some very upsetting noises here. Which, honestly, I mean, that's trivia. This is the kind of game show host I wanted to be. Okay. So, 35 islands make up Totland. There's 34 and then whole cake, so 35. Question 17 is Dawn Island. I'll also accept the Goa Kingdom. Yes, that's the name of the kingdom. Goa Kingdom or Dawn Island. Question 18, Captain Shu. He has the Rust fruit. Question 19, the Drum Island arc, mentioned there because Blackbeard's crew actually attacked Drum Island. That was the whole reason Wapple left. And Dalton was kind of taking charge, so that he mentions, and you see a shadowy silhouette of the Blackbeard crew in Drum Island. It's really cool foreshadowing. Gamu Gamu no Storm is the technique he uses to defeat Crocodile. Like, spins his whole body up and then just punches him a bunch of times, which is basically all of Luffy's moves, but that was a really cool way he punches people. Yeah. And then the last set of question and answers here. Okay, 4,000 years ago was when the Palace of Alubarna was built. I think that was mentioned when Robin was reading off the poneglyph in the basement of the tomb, and she states that at some point. Yes? Oh, did we mix those? Oh! Alright, well, no, that's fine. Oh, okay, yeah, those did get messed up. Okay, no, it's alright. So, we'll just go, tell you what, I'll just go back through these and we'll go through each and every one. Alright, so Drum Island, okay, that's Gamu Gamu no Storm. Question 21's answer is Haradis. H-A-R-E-D-A-S. I'm not giving you, you can spell it however you want, but as long as it gets relatively close to Haradis. Alright, Alubarna was built 4,000 years ago. An elephant. It was a toy elephant that he gets turned into. Yeah. Jaya. Jaya is the 5th island. Whiskey Peak, Cactus Island, Little Garden, Drum Island was 3rd, Alabasta was 4th, Jaya is 5, Skypiea is 6, Laundering Long 7. Now, all right, and then her name's Anne. She shows up in so the first one is Silk, and then in Romance Dawn version 2, it's Anne, and then we get Nami. They all look exactly like Nami. It's blonde Nami, blue hair Nami, and then orange hair. Yeah. Huh? Yes, I'll give it to you. Anna, Anna Lee, anything that has Anne, anything that has A-N-N in it, I'll give it to you. Last one here. Thanks for joining, and now we'll go over the prizing, the ceremony. All right. Okay. Does anybody have a perfect score? All right. Well, I overshot this. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. So perfect score. So no 50s, no 51s. All right. 49. 48, 47.
Go down to 30.
Yeah, does anybody get anybody above 40? Okay, there we go. There we have our winners. Congratulations. What did you get? What'd you get? 44. Anybody higher than 44? Congratulations, our winners. We have manga, we have a color walk book, we have Zorro diorama. And also, yes, we have hats. We have straw hat, Ace's hat, Law's hat, and these lovely ramen bowls.